Hello and welcome to WMT Reviews. I am Wiseman Tanofsky, and today the subject of the review may come as a surprise to some people, as I have said previously that I'll never buy it. But I got a sweet deal on eBay, so here he is. This is the Transformers Age of Extinction leader class, Grimlock. Now, fluff out of the way nice and quickly, once again, Grimlock is the leader of the Dinobots, a group of legendary knights trapped on board Lockdown's ship in this continuity, and he's supposed to transform into a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but I can tell you right now, as a boy who has enjoyed dinosaurs in his past, this is not a Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is some sort of upright Tyrannosaur, but it's not a T-Rex. It's more akin to a movie-verse version of G1 Grimlock, the upright Tyrannosaur. And once you sort of get that idea into your head, it's a lot easier to stomach this dinosaur mode, because this is actually a very good figure once you get past that. Have a quick look at the dino mode here. It's not that bad. If I had to complain about one thing on this, it would be all of this god-awful chrome. I despise chrome. I just can't stand it. And it is everywhere on this figure. It's just everywhere. It's all over the head. It's all down the back. Posability-wise, in dinosaur mode, you get a bit of posability on the head going up and down. There's no side to side. The mouth will open and close. On the arms here, you can get a full 360 rotation out of them if you duck it under the part of this flappy bit in the neck. And as you just saw there is also a bend in the elbow. Coming down to the bottom of the figure, you do have all the arm posability in the legs, but it's very hard to find a position other than standing in which you can actually get this figure to support its entire body weight, because as you can probably imagine, the front half is very heavy, the back half does not counter it, so 9 times out of 10 he will end up on his face. But in terms of posability, there is a full 360 in the top of the leg, there is a bend in the knee, and on the foot down here it will pivot slightly at what will become the wrist. Hands are just sort of sitting there sticking out awkwardly, but for the most part this figure transforms very nicely. Speaking of transformation, I think we should get down to it. So what the first thing you're going to do is remove the tail. Unplug it completely, because that lot will become his equipment. And what you want to do is you'll move the head out the way up here and cover this big chromy section here, and you just want to split it in half, just like that. Underneath here, split the leg section out completely, open it all up, and that will reveal the main mess of the legs. And the dino head you will want to rotate around over here and put it out of the way somewhere so you can sort the legs out. Straighten up the little dino hand so it sits perfectly in there, and fold out the foot, which you will then position like so. Move these sort of spine things out of the way, which kind of annoying, but hey ho, we'll get to those in a minute. And close up this entire leg section, ensuring that you get this peg here into this slot here in the knee, because otherwise you'll have a completely unposable floppy mess of a leg. Last step on the leg is to close up this section, which will peg the leg together and give it some shape. Do the same on this side, fold out these annoying spikes, get the leg all positioned up and clip it all together, and collapse the foot on top. Coming up to the top here, you want to straighten out these arms. Now there is an instruction in the original transformation to move the shoulder from one of these pegs here to a peg backwards or forwards or whatever. I don't do that, I just use the robot mode position, because it gives the dinosaur mode extra stability, and that's really what it's all about. This whole section here will then slide down to reveal the head. Coming around to the back of the figure, you've got these frills up here, you just want to move them out of the way. Take the dinosaur head and split it at the top and bottom jaw. Then what you'll want to do is take the bottom jaw and fold it up like so, collapsing it into position here, and then there's a little peg in here to connect it together. Same on this side, fold it up, rotate it down, and clip it in there, and then the whole section will come up to form the shoulder pads. And you're pretty much done. Now, the robot mode is really where this figure becomes worthy of its £40-odd price tag, because this is incredible. I absolutely love the mould on this robot mode. Emphasis on the word mould there, but we'll come to that in a minute. The way in which this Grimlock transforms makes him really tall and look really, really impressive. There are so many details here and there and everywhere. It's a shame about this whacking great splat of bloody chrome in the middle here, but hey-ho, what can you do? Another shame is the amount of bendy plastic on this guy. As you see here, the main spike up here is bendy plastic. All of these teeth are bendy plastic. This is bendy plastic. The Voyager class Grimlock was one of the only figures in this line that didn't have any bendy plastic on it, and it was really good. But a lot of the sharp edges on this guy have warranted the use of bendy plastic in some areas. Have a quick look at the head sculpt here. It's very hard to make out any details because a lot of it is done in this sort of metallic black that just takes up a lot of the detail and swallows it all in a great big sea of nothingness. I think some silver paint will be well applicated there. And then we come to one of the main offenders on this figure as to why I didn't want it. It's this chrome section on the chest here. The Voyager class had a really good paint scheme, and what I'm thinking is I might just apply the Voyager class paint scheme to the leader class figure, and I might get something better than this. There. Now, posability wise, you do get a couple of good options. The head will twist from side to side inside of its little bucket area there. The shoulder pads will move out of the way and the frills will move with them. As we mentioned earlier with the legs, the shoulders will go out, they will go forwards, and they will go back on this lovely big ratchety joint. Only problem with this is there aren't that many positions in which the arm can sit. It can sit here, it can sit here, or it can sit here. I think there's a little bit of give in between those two sections, but your main choices are this and this. There's no middle ground between those two joints. That's kind of irritating. There is a swivel in the bicep, a bend at the elbow on yet another lovely ratchety joint, and the wrist will pivot back and forth as part of the transformation and swivel as well. Now, there is no posability at all in the chest, once again, and the legs will go all the way out, they will go all the way back on yet more lovely ratchety joints. Now, on my figure, one of these legs has a really nice loose ratcheting joint on the outward posability on the leg. This one is really, really stiff, and I feel like I'm going to break the damn thing. Not a good feeling. There is a swivel in the thigh, a lovely bend at the knee, and the feet will sort of swivel down there. There is also an option to flip out his sort of knight's feet. Take it as you like it. So, in spite of his bulky appearance, Grimlock is a very posable figure. Now, moving on to accessories, we have this big mash of tail here. Again, if you just split it again, at this section here, that section comes off, that section comes off, here are your two accessories. We'll take a look at the weaker of the two first. Pull out this section here, and fold out this section here, and you have what is supposed to be some form of shield. And using this peg here, it can clip in to Grimlock's forearm on the base of his foot. Like so. Giving Grimlock a nice mean shield on one arm. It's okay, it's not bad. The real accessory is this thing. This, of course, is the main bulk of Grimlock's tail, but if you pull this apart and pull it up, you have a very mean looking mace. And I really, really dig this mace. This is great. It's infinitely better than the Voyager class's pathetic whatever that was. And it clips very nicely into Grimlock's hand, like so. So, in spite of its flaws, a lot of which I can fix with a bit of paint, I do not regret buying this figure as much as I thought I was going to. It's actually not half bad. And I think as soon as I've gotten rid of this bloody awful chrome, it'll look even better. So for that, I'm going to award Age of Extinction Leader Class Grimlock a very impressive and surprising 7.5 on the Orsometer. He's a very good figure that has the potential to be a great figure if a couple of little errors are corrected. So that's a 7.5 on the Orsometer for Transformers Age of Extinction Leader Class Grimlock. I've been Wiseman Tanofsky, this has been WMT Reviews, thank you very much for watching.